Okay, we're going to get going this evening.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to call this meeting to order. My name is Chris Pia. This is the regularly scheduled, excuse me, let me back that up. My name is Chris Pia, Chairman for WPCA. Today is Monday, September 26, 2022. It is 7:04 p.m., and I am calling the public hearing for proposed sewer extension to order. For the record, this public hearing, the Stratford Water Pollution Control Authority shall meet on Monday, September 26, 2022 at 7 p.m. at the Stratford Town Hall, 2725 Main Street, Stratford, Connecticut, in the Town Council chambers, and hold a public hearing to consider the sewer extension requested for the 325 and 335 James Farm Road properties, and to hear all persons interested and who may want to be heard, and to take such other and further action as may be required or authorized by law. So if anyone would like to speak for or against, this is your opportunity. I have one gentleman signed up, and for those who have not spoken before, the way it goes is we'll grant everyone 3 minutes. Please just state your name and home address for the record, and we will get going. So I have first signed up is is it Edwin Barrios? Mr. Barrios, after you, sir, you can come to the mic. And we'll start the 3-minute clock once you state your name and address for the record.
Hi, good evening to everybody. My name is Edwin Barrios, as you have in your paper. But the reason that I'm here is because I have a special scenario, I guess. I started new business, which is a restroom trailers, which is basically a bathroom and a trailer. My scenario is that I don't have where to dispose the waste. As I show up to the water pollution place, the first time the gentleman was very kind and he let me do it. The second time when I was there, the person who controls, so I guess managed the water pollution place, he said...
Maybe, Mr. Not to interrupt you, is this in referring to, because this is a public hearing for specific 2 properties on James Farm Road. Is what you have, and I want to hear you out, but is what you have about that tonight or something different?
Something different.
Okay. Might I ask you, I'd be happy to speak with you afterwards for a few minutes and hear more about it, but this is specifically for a sewer extension request up on James Farm Road.
I do apologize.
No problem.
I misunderstood. I apologize.
If you want to hang out, I'll be happy to speak with you afterwards.
Of course.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else who is present who would like to speak about sewer extension requests for 325 and 335 James Farm Road who has not signed up or had the opportunity to sign up? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing at 7:07 p.m. I'm going to open up the regularly scheduled WPCA meeting for September 26, 2022. I have a few papers up here. At 7:07 p.m. First item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from July 25th, 2022. I'll entertain a motion to approve. So moved. Mr. O'Brien.
I'll second.
Ms. Dancho, any discussion? Seeing none, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Chair votes aye. Any opposed? No opposed. Motion passes 6-0. Next item on the agenda is going to be a report of the town engineer. Mr. Casey could not be with us this evening. He had a pre-planned family vacation. So we will go through these. Mr. Casey briefed myself and Mr. Hyde. All of the description is very well written in the memorandum for Mr. Casey. So if we have any questions, we could chat about it. But we'll go one by one. I will entertain a motion to approve item 3A1. If someone would like to make that motion.
I motion to approve item 3A1.
Motion by Ms. Dancho. Do I have a second? Seconded by Mr. O'Brien. Any discussion on this? This is referred to in Mr. Casey's memo. Basically, they need to install a couple extra roof hatches and railings on the roof, so in the event of someone doing maintenance, they have, per all the safety regulations, the ability to tie on so no one can fall off the roof. So, makes sense. I agree. No further discussion. We'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Chair votes aye. Any opposed? No opposed. Motion passes 6-0. Next item on the agenda is item 3.3A2. I'll entertain a motion to approve. Mr. Connor. Do I have a second? Seconded by Ms. Sutton. Any discussion? Again, description is provided. This is for the cost of a sensor at the Pex Mill Pond Station, the event in the amount of $4,627.97. Seeing no other further discussion, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Chair votes aye. Any opposed? No opposed. Motion passes 6-0. I will entertain a motion to approve the next item of 3A3. Mr. O'Brien, do I have a second? Ms. Dancho. Any discussion on this? This is a contract extension. It is a no-cost item. It is just needed to keep the projects moving. Descriptions in the memorandum. Seeing no other discussion, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Chair votes aye. No opposed. Motion passes 6-0. Next item under 3A will be 3A4. I'll entertain a motion to approve. Motion made by Ms. Sutton. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Connor. Any discussion on this? This is for the Ryan's Lane. Very quick summary to this. Actually, a good thing. We're basically asking to amend this so that instead of us spending, the WPCA spending $49,000 on a consultant proposal, where it's actually going to be coming out of a DECD grant through the Army Engine Plant, because this is that the Ryan's Lane pump station is the one right next to the Army Engine, down on that property back there. And if the Army Engine Plant developers and DECD are needing that to basically rework it. So we're getting funds from a grant to do the reworking proposal and have an independent third party look at it so that it makes up, before we spend any future money, it matches up to make sure it's in the town of Stratford's best interest forward. So this is actually a very good, positive thing. Any further discussion? Mr. Hyde, did I summarize that one pretty well? Thank you, sir. Jump in if I miss something. All right, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Chair votes aye. Any opposed? No opposed. Motion passes 6-0. Next item on the agenda is item 3B. I would ask that this is the Hilltop sewer extension, and it was brought to our attention by Mr. Casey, I believe, on late Friday after the agenda had gone out. That if you remember, the WPCA voted to allow a sewer extension request from an address on Hilltop. The homeowners, after the costs come back in that they would obviously pay for, decided not to move forward with it. So I would ask that someone ask to strike this from the agenda, being that the homeowner is no longer looking for it. Motion made by Mr. Connor to strike. Do I have a second? Seconded by Mr. O'Brien. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Chair votes aye. No, any opposed? No opposed. Motion passes 6-0. I just realized if you look under 2A, the agenda might have been written slightly out of order, so I want to make sure that and Carol, forgive me for skipping that. This was the sewer extension request that we had the public hearing for. I want to make sure that we appropriately vote and discuss on that. So I'd like to go back, and this is my fault and a slight overlook. 2A is to establish a sewer extension request for 325 and 335 James Farm Road. I'll entertain a motion to approve that item. Mr. Connor. Motion by Mr. Connor to approve. Do I have a second? Seconded by Mr. O'Brien. Any discussion? Again, this was for the public hearing that we are required to have. Mr. Casey provided a site map for everybody in his memorandum. These are single-family homes. This passed through Planning Commission unanimously, and obviously this will go through zoning and the proper procedures, but this step is needed for, I believe it's 7 or 8 single-family homes to be developed, as they're looking just simply to connect to our sewer system.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. O'Brien.
Do you know if this is the property where that cell tower is, the big cell tower?
This is not. This is, if you go over the James Farm Road, Chapel Street Bridge, it's those woods right on the left before you go down to Harvest Ridge. Yeah.
I have a
Hello?
question.
Ms. Rice.
Do you know if there will be a burden on the existing sewage system there?
It will not. I talked it over with Mr. Casey extensively. Yes, Ms. Dancho.
Do you know if this is going to go to inland wetlands?
I do not, but
I'm just asking because a couple of the properties show the wetlands as part of their backyards.
I honestly don't know, Ms. Dancho. If you want to just shoot John an email and CC me on it,
Okay, I will, thank you.
you're welcome. I just know that Planning Commission is the only body it's going to, and we're second. And again, we're just, all we're voting on is to give them the right to extend, at their cost, obviously, the sewer, which is already existing in James Farm Road there. So, okay. We're going to call a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Chair votes aye. Any opposed? No opposed. Motion passes 6-0. Going down to the report for item number 4, report of the WPCA Plant Superintendent. Mr. Hyde, do you have any action items for this evening?
No, I do not have any new business or action items this week.
Everything moving smooth? Everything moving smoothly?
Very nicely.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Town Attorney Marino, any report this evening or anything is outstanding?
No report. What I would say is just to, in response to that inquiry, to the extent that an inland wetland.
Just turn your microphone on. Thank you.
Apologize. To the extent that an inland wetlands review is required, this approval does not give a right to construct. It's only a right to connect. They would require any land use body approval. So if it requires inland wetlands approval, they would have to go there first, and then they'd have to go back to zoning in the ordinary course. So they would, so that would be the ordinary process would be they would go to inland wetlands and then they would go to zoning. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Town Attorney. Anything else you have to add, Ben? Or is anything other outstanding? Okay, excellent. Seeing that there's no old business or new, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. O'Brien.
A second.
Seconded by Ms. Dancho. Do I have any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Chair votes aye. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you all.